It has been one of the toughest jobs, but most rewarding. I had 2 previous pregnancies, so I felt that I kind of had it down pat. I knew what to expect. I knew all the unpleasant symptoms and all the changes that go through your bodies. I did notice a difference in my 8th month with my daughter. And the difference I felt was that I was in somewhat of a fog. This feeling of not being able to cope, not being able to put one foot in front of the other. The thought of preparing breakfast for the kids seemed to be very overwhelming. And that seems very simple, just pour some cereal or prepare some toast. But for me, it seemed like a chore, like it would just be too much work. So at that point I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't have a word for it, I didn't have a name for it. So that led me to sort of looking into depression, just what is that? And I came across an article that spoke specifically about postpartum depression. And reading that, I saw myself in that story. And it was a culmination of hearing someone being confident, speaking about depression in general, and then seeing that specific story that I could see myself in, that I realized I needed to reach out. Talking to someone who, A, doesn't judge you, doesn't try to fix you, but has the tools to provide that you can help heal yourself. To not be able to provide what you feel this child needs, there's a lot of shame in terms of not being an adequate parent, but there's a lot of shame too in terms of what are people going to think of me? Are they going to think that I'm weak? Are they going to think that somehow this is contagious even? So those factors do prevent you from really reaching out and asking for the supports that you need. I think that it's a brave step to admit that. First of all, you'll know it inside. The first person that you tell that you're having these thoughts and feelings, they may not know how to help you. Don't let that stop you from telling another person, because you will eventually find someone who does understand, who can walk alongside you and be a support while you do seek that help. The reality is, and we've seen a lot of stories and we've heard a lot of heartache, even within the Winnipeg community, of people who, although they knew something was wrong, sometimes because of the shame or maybe just lack of knowledge where to get the resources, didn't seek help. And I don't know where it could go. I'm glad I don't know that. I'm glad that I didn't experience that. I do believe I would have probably gotten worse before it got better. That huge relief to know that I could get back to who I am, who I truly am, because there was a fear for a long time that maybe I was that person that had these awful thoughts, that wasn't capable, and that I had just put on a good facade my entire life. So these are the types of thoughts that go through your mind when you're not very well. And to come out of that and have this clarity of, no, I am helpful, I do have something to offer, and certainly having been on the inside of this experience, when I have friends who have had children and they had them later than I did, I was able to talk with them and talk about my story, which allowed them to later share some of their own struggles. Hi, I'm Sarah Guillemard, and I'm the MLA for Fort Richmond. And my message to you today is it's time to talk. Let's talk.